But you know, of course, in pale Arab's history, he calls him a slave. You know, every time it's black, it got to be a slave. He can't be prominent, he got to be a slave. But that's all right. So it says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. If you know anything about the great rabbis and the high priesthood, when you go and you deliver yourself in humbleness, and you're going to be put to that order, you get between the rabbi's knees. You literally do this. And then you are admitted into the high priesthood. And that carried all the way, that's right, that happens today. That carried all the way down to Belial. Now keep reading.
Until Shiloh come.
That's
and
right.
Unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
And Shiloh was the Prophet Muhammad. You follow? That was the Shiloh. Now let me show you something else. Go to Revelations 10:2. Once again, a confirmation how it was another little, we'll see. Revelations 10:2.
And he said in his hand a little book open.
Now he had a little book that was open, right? Now the Bible is a big book. The Gilgamesh Epics in them are big books. This is a little book. Go ahead.
And he set his right foot.
And then he said that the first thing you had about the book was open. What's the first surah you see in the Quran? Fatiha. What does Fatiha mean? To open it. Go ahead.
And he set his right foot upon the sea.
He's stepping out of something.
On the earth.
That's right, because he's stepping out of something. Go ahead.
And cried with a loud voice.
He's yelling.
As when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices.
That's right. And those 7 thunders with the 7 verses. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmuddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim, Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Those are the 7 vowels, the 7 verses that he uttered out of his mouth in the opening of the Quran. Now, tell the rabbis they need to teach that. Tell the preachers they need to teach that to get the record straight. Once again, all of these things are the same. Go to Revelations 11:3 for me. I'm going to show you how these are the same. Ain't no difference between no Bible and no Quran. There ain't no difference. All of them prayed the same. All of them called on the same. Because Jesus never called on no God or Jehovah. He said, Eli, 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 El, or Eli, Elo. You can even say Allah for that because he didn't speak Aramaic. Go to 11:3. Never said God, said Eli. Go ahead.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses.
2 witnesses. And we just discussed both of them. Muhammad and Moses. I'm going to give power unto my 2 witnesses. And
they shall prophesy 1,203 score days.
They're going to teach you the real deal. They're going to, how many days? 1,203 score. Didn't I show you, little sister, where it said 1,260? It was talking about those 2 prophets that will teach you the true understanding of what they're calling God. Go ahead. And they was dressed in sackcloth. They was dressed in white. Go ahead.
These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God.
And you know the 2 candlesticks. You should know that. They speak of 7 in the first book of Revelation. This is talking about 2. It's a certain order. Because both of them belong to the same order. We can get into the order they belong to too. Where you do a ceremony with 2 candles and you're looking at yourself to bring out what exactly is inside. I can't go too much further because it's a nice order. He did it. That's why he's shaking. Go ahead.
And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devours their enemies. And
because the fire out of their mouth would be the fire of the truth. Anybody messes with them. You follow? That's the confirmation that the Bible sent the Quran. And Christianity ain't nothing but another form of Islam. Judaism ain't nothing but a form of Sumerian. All them tied together as one. Because the 9 ether being that gave it to you. The 9 ether being is the one that developed all this. That's all it is. All of it ain't no difference. It's all the same. You hear me? They tell you women wear veils. You wear veils in Bibles. Right in the Torah. Right in the 24th chapter, the 63rd verse of the Genesis. Tell you about wearing a veil. Tell you about circumcision. All 3 groups circumcised. It tell you about all that. That's the problem, y'all. It's all really tied in as one, but they got it as something different. That's where you make the mistake. That's where the confusion comes in. That's why you all messed up. And some people always talk about the Bible. You can go right in the Quran and read everything in the Bible. And go right to the Old Testament and read everything that's in all that. And go to the Gilgamesh epic, the Ata the Hasid, the Scroll of Eyes, through this holy tablets, and read all where it all comes from. Ain't that something? Because they don't answer a lot of stuff. You know why they don't answer it? Ask them to answer this. Go to Exodus 15:3. Tell them to answer this here. What does this mean, y'all? What does this mean? You gonna read it? Go ahead. It's Exodus 15:3. Go ahead.
The Lord is a man of war.
So now the Lord is a man of war. What does that mean? Huh? All right, one person said he's ready to battle. He already in the war, so he ain't in no battle. He want a war. You know what I'm saying? And he's a man. He's not only ready to war, he's a man. Huh? Do you hear me? Huh? Not the Lord. So there are things that supersede the teachings that they give you, that you must go to books of old to find out what's going on. And that's why most Hebrew Israelites are looking for the Maccabees. And that's why most of your religious people go to these esoterical orders known as the ancient mystical order of Melchizedek. They want to join the Sufis. They want to be Freemasons. They want to be Shriners because they want the inner truths. And all that came from you. Freemason, Shriner, Eastern Star, all that came from you. Because in order to see the star in the north, you had to follow it. And that was where Mary was. And she was the identification, I ain't going to go too much. She's the identification of that Eastern Star with her 5 other sisters. It's so easy. Mary was black and the 5 sisters was black. Y'all hear me? I ain't gonna give you too much now. Can't give you but so much. All right, any more questions?